yesterday.
Yeah.
They both found out they clinched because the Rangers lost. So the Rays lost, but then they go, you got to celebrate.
Yeah, you have
made
to.
the
I've
playoffs.
been there before.
Yeah,
You
have
can't
to.
overlook that. Who
No,
cares?
no.
You got to look at the whole season.
You have to. You're sitting there watching the TV, or it might have just happened at the same time.
Exactly.
So you're ready.
Yeah.
Pablo Lopez joining us right now on FT Live. Great to see you. How's the season going?
Good, man. Good. Beautiful day out here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, of course. So, has the year one transition to a new franchise when you spent most of your career with Miami? Take me back. Like, you see the trade, and what was the first thing you thought?
No, man. It's been a fun year. A lot of new things, a lot of new faces, new philosophies, new a lot. And going back, I remember I was watching my nephew. I was babysitting for my sister, and then I get a text like you might get a phone call soon. And then I got the phone call, and then a lot of emotions, a lot of like mixed emotions, mixed feelings happening. But then I realized what this opportunity meant, and then it was about showing up to spring training, getting to know the team, the organization, the philosophy, and then taking advantage of every single resource that was made available for me. And ever since then, I've been loving every single second. Since I put the Twins jersey on, I've had a lot of fun. I've been creating a lot of like good memories, good friendships, good relationships, and it's been a really, really fun year.
Good.
You want me? All right. Hey, you're. I don't even know what the word is because I don't want to say it. You know 4 different languages, right?
I learned four
Learn
languages growing
now,
up. Yeah.
growing up, or was that something recently that you did? Was that something in school that they made you do? Or
So my parents were big in education.
Yeah.
They were both doctors, so like they pushed me and my sister a lot when it came to like going to school, getting good grades. So they sent us to like this linguistic school
Yeah.
where they were just teaching us tons and tons of languages. And
Gosh.
later on, they asked me which one I wanted to intensify on. I chose English,
Yeah.
and thankfully I did because I ended up playing baseball and coming here. So that's allowed me to communicate and like creating these relationships.
That's huge. I think they should be teaching that nowadays, man.
It's hard enough speaking English.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And you got accepted to medical school at 16 years old.
Yeah, that was a tough decision as a 16-year-old. Like what I wanted to do. Did I want to play baseball? Do I want to follow my parents' footsteps and go to medical school? So, and both things happened around the same time. I finished high school in June, got accepted to medical school in June. I got offered to sign with Seattle in July of the same year. So like
Oh my gosh.
I had to make that big decision right there and then. It was a big one for a 16-year-old boy.
Yeah.
So thankfully, my dad was there with me to help me make the best decision that I could, and I'm glad it worked out.
Do you have aspirations after baseball to get back into the medical field or medical school?
I do want to go back to college. I want to go to, but I want experience. I want to go to college. I want to show up. I want to
right.
go to a classroom, and I think for medical school would be too much, would be too long. But like I feel like the closest thing I could do, like I want to become like a nutritionist, a dietitian. So like I want to go to nutrition school. This last off season, I got big into like I wanted to like lose some weight, but what's the healthiest? What's the best way to do it? So I started reading a lot into nutrition, paying attention to what goes into the body and everything that goes on. So I don't know. I got fascinated with the idea, and I would really like to like whenever my baseball career is over, go to college, have the college experience, but also like become maybe a nutritionist, dietitian.
I've got a guy for you then. His name's Carlos Correa.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
We spoke to him, and I've known Carlos for years, but he came on the show once during spring training, right before he was about to have one of his meals, because he's got the whole thing set up at home. Like, have you done it yet? Did you get to go to his spot in spring training for a little meal? He's got his chefs, he's got the whole setup for him, and he's like big on what he's putting in his body.
Now he's so like that's one of the main reasons I've also been thinking more and more about this. Like I walk into the clubhouse spring training, and I get to meet Carlos, and then I get to understand the way he goes about his business with everything, like the little things, the big things, and like it starts with the way you take care of your body. So I've been talking to him a lot. I've gone to experience some of those that during spring training I went to his spot, and he's got his whole crew, very thorough the way they make things. They're very specific with like the ingredients and all that, and like that's really cool to see. Like you gotta take care of your body because like you work with your body. Like our bodies are the ones that are day in day out putting in the work. So it starts there. It's one of the foundations for what we do.
Yeah, and that's what Carlos says. Like, he's good. He'll be like, I tell the players, this is all about like getting your money, taking care of your body, right? Then after you play, you can do whatever you want. But right now, he's like, this is the time to shine. Like, is
Yeah.
he saying that stuff to the guys, especially the young guys? Because you guys have gotten a lot younger, your roster, over these last few
Yes.
months.
So he's all about that stuff and staying healthy. Like if
Yeah.
you're not healthy, you're not gonna be able to play. So like I've heard him say that. I think it was last year the Twins had a rough time keeping people healthy,
Yep.
and then a lot of like some of the things he started bringing up to the organization. The team dietitian was like taking care of like the spreads, the meals on the plane, like limiting the amounts of sugar, foods that can like inflame our body, like all that stuff. So he talks a lot to the young guys about keeping you healthy, so you are able to go out, maintain yourself healthy enough to be available to play.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about the pitch clock this year? Have you liked it? Not just for yourself as a pitcher on the mound, but obviously when you're not pitching, the games end quicker. You still get the same amount of action. Like, do you think it's been a big positive for the sport?
I think it has been. I remember going through spring training, the whole adjustment period, getting pitch clock violation every 5 pitches.
Did you get a lot of them?
Yeah, I kept getting them because I would throw a pitch and like I would like take a few steps forward, grab the ball, walk back, and then the clock would be at like 4 seconds, and like I started getting a ton of them. But like the moment you start getting used to it, like the moment you start, you gotta accept it, you gotta embrace it, and then the moment you start seeing it, and then you see the results. The games are quicker, people are engaged, you are able to just like remain in the moment. I used to wander a lot with my head. I used to like think too much, trying to outsmart every single pitch. Like the pitch clock, I get the ball, I hear the sign, then I execute. So like it keeps me in a good rhythm, and it prevents me from like overthinking at times.
So I think I know the answer to this, Pablo. You're at the most innings you've had in a season in your career. Physically, how are you feeling right now, especially the last couple weeks of the season?
I've been feeling good, man. I made it a big priority this offseason to be strong at every single point of the season. Last year, I was able to go 180 innings, but there were times in the second half that I'm like, man, I feel like I'm not 100% today. Like I was still feeling good enough to pitch, to perform, but I knew I wasn't at my best. So I made it like a big priority. I got myself in the best shape I've ever been. I kept going through trial and error to like improve my routines. Like before I throw, like I want to get ready to throw. I don't want to throw to get ready. It's one of the one of it was one of my mindsets when it came to like I want to go to the field, get my work in. So I'm in a good spot physically and mentally. The second half came in, and I was just feeling as good as I was feeling in April. Just getting my work in, and then listening to like veterans pitchers that have done it. I got Sonny Gray next to me in the pitching staff, and like he's been a tremendous amount of help. He's been through this a lot. He's thrown a lot of innings in his career. He's pitched for a lot of good teams. So it's all about like I get to ask him and get the feedback from him. Like like there were times in X season that I was feeling this way, and I started deloading my bullpen in between stars. I may skip a bullpen in August. In August, like I'm not gonna throw a bullpen in between because I know like I have the feel for my stuff. So he's been a great resource for me this year.
That's a good question you bring up, and I want to bring up as well. So you have Sonny Gray, who you could talk to. How about a guy like Joe Ryan, who's just coming up as well? I played in the Olympic trials with him. He's a crazy dude, right? So is he looking to talk to you and Sonny, trying to get some feedback as well?
Yeah. It's like he's always with a baseball in his hand, and like I'm just like in the corner of the dugout. He'll come to me with a baseball and just throw at me the most like baseball random fact, or like he'll be like, what do you see on like let's say that we're gonna face the same team in the series, and we're both watching one of our guys pitch. Like, what do you see on these guys? And then he'll throw like, oh, I think he's only got a barrel in like splitters in the last 6 months, and I'm like he knows stuff like that on the top of his head. Like that's impressive. Like I look at a lot of reports, I pay attention to the game, but like he'll throw like some obscure fact that is actually true and that he'll use for his advantage when it's his time to pitch. So I get Sonny from the experience. I get Joe with the fun, random, and also like he's like big into like reading and like taking advantage of like the analytics and all that.
So do you ever go to him then, like before start, and be like, all right, what do you got? What's your scouting report on these guys? Give me something weird.
I'll ask him like, what do you see on these guys? And he's like, dude, I just feel like last year when this and this and that, like they took 2 of my fastball and then they sat on something. So like I'll ask him. I'll ask like if you face this team before, like if you face this batter before, like what's your history with them? And then yeah, he always got good stuff to say.
That's cool. What about the second half for this team? Because you guys have had a nice second half of the season and kind of separated yourself in the division. I remember Max Kepler talking at one point about how he felt like there was just like more togetherness with everyone. I don't know if you caught the comments or how you feel about that, but did you sense anything differently from the team where he's like, just feel like the team approach, everyone kind of looking out for themselves? You can see that converting on the field too. Have you seen any of that?
I think in the first half it was a lot of like we knew the pieces were there,
Yeah.
but maybe like you're saying, like maybe there was this feel of individuality. Like people are like we knew we were here, but like that togetherness didn't come along, both on results, both on performances, and like maybe as a team. So when the second half came, like we made it like a big like priority. Like we know what we have here, we just have to put it together. We know we have the pitching, we know we have the hitting, we know we have the defense. Like let's put it together, but not only on the field but also as a team. Like a lot of guys started taking more accountability when it came to the way we were preparing. Like we were running the meetings, we were really like diving into like the way we were getting ready as a team to like try to win a series, try to win a ball game. And then the moment it started showing up on the field, that gave us the confidence. Confidence gives you good results give you confidence, and like we kept that cycle going and going and going. And then we started like taking it one game at a time, we kept that mentality, and then it's been a really fun second half. Like a lot of those pieces came together, and that like now it's just one big puzzle of like togetherness.
Okay, so I know you said that you want to go into the college scene possibly after you get done playing. Do you have any aspirations to coach or manage? Because you sound like
He speaks well.
yeah,
man.
you are a
Well
leader,
Or
and
broadcast.
I feel like or broadcasting. You speak so well and confident. Like I feel like I can play right now because just listening to you.
I would love to. I mean, obviously, I know that's like long
Yeah.
time away in the future, but it's something I would consider. Like, I'm one of those guys that, thanks to many coaches and mentors I've had in the past, I've been able to develop into the person and player I am. So, like, I understand the huge impact a coach can have on a player, like a kid. So, it's definitely something that I would consider. Depends on like when my career ends, what my priority will be. But it's like it's something that I'll keep in mind, like when it
Yeah.
comes.
15 more years. You got a lot of time left.
It's going to be a minute.
Yeah.
So, how's Minneapolis life compared to Miami life? They're basically the same city, right?
They could not be more different.
Yeah.
Weather-wise, people-wise, activity-wise, but it's been good. It's been a fun contrast. I was in Miami for both the season and off seasons. That's where I live in the off season, so I was used to that. Like it's fun. It's a little hectic, a little
Yeah, it's
crazy.
fast.
But then I get like the complete different contrast. I get Minneapolis, like you get that feel, like that homey feel. Everyone's like very genuine. Everyone like cares about the team because it feels like it's like the city's team. Like it feels like the team is owned by the fans. I don't know if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the fans go to the field, and then like you feel like the real support, and like it's been really fun. Like it was just cold at the beginning. That was a
Oof.
tremendous adjustment I had to
That was
do.
fun, right?
And I pitched a game and it felt like 29 degrees. So like that was really not fun.
Jeez.
But I really
there.
enjoy my time in Minneapolis. Like it's such a you get like that homey feel. Like it's extremely kind, extremely genuine. So I think like I fit in really well there.
Mhm.
So you still live in Miami during the off season now?
Yes.
Any chance you're a Miami Hurricanes fan? But now, before you answer that,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
a
you got
couple
2 out of-
Miami
2 out of
grads here.
3.
Yeah.
That's true.
Are you a Miami
I
Hurricanes
am
fan?
not a Canes fan.
Oh,
no. Did you
Are
go
you,
to
are
any
you the
games?
Cane fan?
Well, me,
Yeah, we
me
both
and
went
Scott
to school
both
there.
went to school there.
Nice.
Did you go to any games though, like Heat, Dolphins, anything?
I
down
went to
there?
a couple Heat games.
Yeah.
The hockey team, the Panthers.
Yep.
I didn't go to any Dolphin game, but
Yeah, you weren't missing much. Maybe this year.
But
though.
this year.
Yeah, this
they're
year
back
they're
on track
different,
this
yeah.
year.
maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Pablo, it was great to see you, man.